Good morning, everyone. This is Archana Dividi, teaching English, Kendra Vidyalaya Singrauli. I am here with a story named Gopal and the Hilsa Fish from class 7th English, taken from the textbook Honeycomb. Basically, this story is based on two of the main characters. First one is Gopal and the other one is Hilsa Fish. This is a comic picture story about an intelligent courtier, Gopal, and the Hilsa fish. In the Hilsa fish season, everyone in the market, at neighborhood, and even in the king's court speaks about the Hilsa fish. At that time, the king gets angry at it and challenges Gopal to buy a Hilsa fish and to bring it in the court without letting anybody on the way talk or ask about it from him. So Gopal accepts the challenge easily. So we go through the story. Either Gopal is successful for his mission or not. He accepted the challenge. So he had completed his challenge or not. Just we go through the story. First of all, we see Hilsa fish. Might be you have seen. See, this is the picture of a Hilsa fish. This one is also a Hilsa fish. Let's we talk about what is meant by a comic story. A comic story is a form of creative writing where the story is displayed by images, drawings, and cartoons. Children like cartoons very much. The dialogues exchanged between the characters from the written part of the story. The images which are arranged sequentially are interrelated and together cohesive form of a narrator. In that story, the main characters were Gopal, Gopal's wife, the king, and the courtiers. So the question raised on our mind is, who was Gopal? We know that he was a court jester in the medieval Bengal. He is one of the advisors of the king. He used to give joy to others by laughter and ridicules. The king considered Gopal as a Navaratna of his court, and he is one of the wisest men of the court. Let's brief sketch of the story. Gopal was one of the wise men in the king's court. When the king was fed up with ongoing talks about Hilsa fish, he challenged Gopal. Then what Gopal did? He dressed up like a madman and his appearance caught everyone's attention. He reached the court without anyone talking about the fish, as everyone was drawn towards his appearance. He has shown his curiosity and cleverness because he is one of the wisest men of the court. So he used to do such things. We see the key points of the story. It was a season of Hilsa fish, so everywhere and everyone is asking about and talking about only one and only Hilsa fish. What the king has ordered in that court during the talks of Hilsa fish. Gopal accepts the challenge given by the king and taken by the Gopal. Gopal's preparation about Hilsa fish, how he had prepared himself for Hilsa fish. Gopal's journey to palace with Hilsa fish. What were the reactions of people to see or saw Gopal? Gopal's efforts to get entry in the palace. Nobody asked about Hilsa fish in the palace. Courtiers' reactions about Gopal. King asks about Gopal's appearance. Gopal's reminder about Hilsa fish. And congratulations to Gopal means lastly or finally he successfully completed his challenge thrown by the king towards him. Let's we see the summary of the story. The season of Hilsa fish was going on everywhere as we had season of mangoes in summer. People were talking about Hilsa fish and nothing else. Even the court was not an exception. The king was tired of this. He made an announcement to buy a Hilsa fish and to bring it to the palace without anyone asking a word about it. Gopal, one of the courtiers, accepts the challenge. He makes preparation, half shaves himself, smear with ash, and wear torn clothes. Then set out to the palace with a big Hilsa fish. Throughout the way, everybody talks and laughs on his face and strange appearance, but nobody says about Hilsa fish. Finally, Gopal reaches to palace where the guard stops him to enter. Gopal starts singing so loudly that king allows the stranger to come inside the palace. Even no one asks about Hilsa fish except appearance. Even the king asks about Gopal's dressing and not Hilsa fish. In the end, Gopal reminds the king about the challenge. The king congratulates Gopal for achieving the impossible task. This is the summary of the story. Hope you can understand what had happened with Gopal with the other courtiers of the palace. So here just we go through the story. It was a session for Hilsa fish. Fishermen could think of nothing but Hilsa fish. So everybody is asking and just talking about Hilsa fish only because it was the season of Hilsa fish. Fishmongers sold nothing but Hilsa fish. Fishmongers who? The dealers of fish. Come by, the price of Hilsa is down today. So at that time, because the season was going of Hilsa fish only, the rates were down. Householders could talk of nothing but Hilsa fish. How much do you pay for that Hilsa? You wouldn't believe if I told you. Means the price was very less at that time. And in the palace too, the courtiers could discuss nothing but Hilsa fish. Your Majesty, you should have seen the house. Hilsa, I caught it was. Means how much huge Hilsa fish I caught it. Might be you shouldn't seen. King was in anger. Stop it. Are you a courtier or a fisherman? The courtier fell silent with downcast eyes. The king felt guilty. Downcast eyes means looking downwards. The king felt guilty. I'm sorry. I lost my temper. Lost my temper means getting angry. It is the season for Hilsa fish, and no one, not even Gopal, can stop anyone from talking about Hilsa fish, not even for 5 minutes. Because he is one of the wisest men of the courtiers. So the king asked to the Gopal, no one is going to stop this type of discussion about Hilsa fish. Gopal replied, I just tried. Oh, I think I could, Your Majesty. Then, let me see. You buy a huge Hilsa and bring it to the palace without anyone you a word about it. King has given a challenge to the Gopal, and the challenge was accepted by The Gopal, I accept the challenge, Your Majesty. I accept the challenge, Your Majesty. A few days later, why is your face half shaven? Wife asked from Gopal. I'm dressing up to buy a fish. What is the matter with you? Why are you smearing yourself with ash? I told you I'm dressing up to buy a Hilsa fish. Listen to me, please. You can't possibly go out in those disgraceful rags. What are you up to? How many times must I tell you, woman, I am out to buy a huge Hilsa fish? So he started preparation for buying a huge Hilsa fish. It's happened to him. He's gone mad. His wife just said, it's happened to him. He's gone mad. Gopal bought the Hilsa fish and started walking towards the palace. Mother, look at that man. Isn't he comical? He must be a madman. Hush! I think he's a mistake. When Gopal reached the court, what do you want? Guards asked from him. I want to see the king, he replied. Gopal replied, I want to see the king. Guard then again, you can't see the king. Get away with you. Gopal began to dance and sing loudly. Inside the palace, the man is crazy. Threw him out at once. I want to see the king. Let me in. The king ordered to the guards that I wanted to see him. Bring that man to me at once. Guard replied, Yes, Your Majesty. Gopal was brought before the king. It's Gopal. The man has lost his mind. I think it's one of his crazy jokes. All right, Gopal, out with it. Why are you dressed up in this ridiculous fashion? King asked to him. Your Majesty replied. Your Majesty, you seem to have forgotten something. King started thinking over. Forgotten something? Then again, Gopal. Strangely enough, no one seems to be interested in Hilsa fish today, from the market to the palace and in the court. Not a soul has spoken a word about Hilsa fish. Only then did the king remember the challenge he had thrown to Gopal. Ha ha ha. Well, Gopal, congratulations, you have achieved the impossible one again. So this is the story, and I'm going to again give you a explanation of that story. It was a session for the Hilsa fish, and it was Hilsa that everyone was talking about. In the market, fishmongers were selling only Hilsa fish, luring customers to buy it. Even in the royal court, courtiers were talking about Hilsa. This made the king lose his temper. He believed that no one could stop the people from talking about Hilsa fish, or not even Gopal, who was the wisest man in his court. The king challenged Gopal to buy a huge Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone asking him about it. Gopal accepted the challenge. After handing for the challenge, what did it? After a few days, Gopal shaved beard from half of his face and smeared ash on himself. He wore rags and looked disgraceful. His wife was shocked and asked him not to leave home like this. But Gopal kept on telling her that he was going to buy a huge Hilsa fish. She thought Gopal had gone mad At the market, Gopal bought a huge Hilsa fish and started walking towards the palace. No one noticed the fish, but everyone was looking at Gopal. Walking strangely with his shabby clothes, people called him mystic and mad. He went to meet the king, but was stopped by the guards. He started dancing and singing loudly in front of the royal palace. The king ordered his guards to produce the man before him. Everyone in the court was shocked, seeing Gopal dressed up like a mad. The king questioned Gopal about the reason for his weird attire. Gopal reminded the king about the challenge and told him that from the market to the royal palace, no one had asked him a single word about the Hissa fish. The king burst into laughter and accepted that Gopal had done the impossible once more. So that was the story. Let's we see new words and its meaning. So our word is fish manager, means a person that sells fish for food. Other one is courtiers, a person who attends a royal court as a companion or advisor to the king or queen. Then again, downcast means looking downward. To lose temper means getting angry. Smear, coat or mark carelessly with grease or oil. Rags means a piece of old cloth. Half shaven means having beard on half of face. Comical means amusing or funny. Mystic means strange, spiritual. Hush, to keep quiet. Ridiculous means absurd. So let's come to the moral of the story. So the moral of the story is nothing is impossible in the world. Smart people will make smart decisions. And that's the most important factor in how things turn out good for you. Smart people can achieve anything in the world with his or her intelligence. So be smart, show your intelligence, be the wisest man. This is all your story. Hope you can enjoy it a lot and understands it. Thank you.